Was it really a W or was it actually an L? Let's decide together, you guys. W Korea just had their annual Love Your W event, and once again, a ton of K-pop idols were in attendance, all dressed by different brands. Some of the outfits looked really great, and others, not so much. So I thought it'd be fun to go through some of the K-pop idols that attended the event and talk about their outfits. I'll be handing out some W's to the outfits that I thought were really great, so make sure to watch the video and see who gets one. There's honestly so much to cover, so let's just get into it. Starting with Jake and Sunghoon. You guys know I love Jake. So Jake and Sunghoon actually had to attend the photo call twice. The first time they represented Tiffany, and then they changed outfits and represented Prada with the rest of the Enhypen members. For the first photo call representing Tiffany, Jake and Sunghoon both wore matching sets. And usually when they're representing a jewelry brand like Tiffany, they'll wear matching sets so then the jewelry can really stand out. So Jake wore a black cardigan with the sleeves rolled up as well as like black plain slacks or like wool pants. And then Sunghoon wore this kind of denim effect, but it was actually like a leather top and bottom set that was supposed to look like a denim jean and jean jacket or whatever, which actually was kind of cute. So they wore a lot of Tiffany jewelry, as you can see. The outfits were pretty simple. I don't think they were trying to do too much with outfits, so that way the jewelry could actually stand out. But I think that in general, like they could have wore a more statement piece of jewelry. It kind of feels like they were wearing everything. They were wearing rings, bangles, and necklaces. Otherwise, I feel like they could have worn like a big choker or something that could have been cool. But overall, I thought the outfits were fine. The rest of the Enhypen members also attended the same event representing Prada. So I guess they had Jake and Sunghoon change and so they could go join the rest of the Enhypen members. So they all wore matching Prada looks. I feel like their Prada looks were very reminiscent of what they wore to the latest Prada show, especially like that kind of chartreuse sweater that Jake is wearing. I think that's the same sweater Jungwon wore to the Prada show, but overall they wore like these kind of very Prada-esque looks. I feel like at this point, Prada probably just lent them these looks permanently so they could go to all these different events with them. Sunghoon wore more of like a classic Prada look, I would say, like that kind of fun color tie shirt and then a long coat. He wore this kind of like, actually he wore like a coat we've never seen before yet, or maybe he has worn this, but I haven't seen it. It's kind of like this wrinkled effect leather coat with a shearling neck collar. Overall, I mean, it was fine. I feel like recently we've seen Enhypen and Prada so much that it just feels like it's kind of all blending together. Like they're wearing this is very reminiscent of the runway show, like I said, and then they also wore looks for their opening looks for their tour, which is again all Prada. It kind of feels like it's all blending together, but yeah, like it was fine. I feel like I'm liking how much they're representing Prada. They're really dedicated to Prada clearly, and Prada clearly definitely loves it. But yeah, I don't think any of them like particularly like stood out like amazingly. I think out of all of them, I would say probably I like Sunghoon's outfit the best. Baekhyun and Fendi are kind of having a moment, you guys. Have you guys noticed that? He's really putting a lot of energy into Fendi. I feel like before it was very much Givenchy and that kind of fell off a little bit, and now he's putting a lot of effort into Fendi, and I'm actually loving it because his look for the W event, he actually looked great. I think he was actually one of probably the best dressed out of all the K-pop idols that were there. So let's go through the outfit. So he wore this kind of blazer with kind of like a sparkle effect inside of it, and then he wore like a kind of an undershirt, and then the base layer, he was wearing this kind of like sheer lurex-ish shiny sequin, not even sequin, like a lurex top that had like a hint of like lime green, and then he wore like a little choker, and the pants fit him well, and then he wore these kind of like platform derbies, and then the bag he was carrying as like a little clutch. I actually think it looked great. The suit looked really good on him. It actually fits him perfectly as well. That you cannot say that about a lot of these looks I'm about to show you later in the video. Warning, you're gonna see a lot of suits in this video. Literally everybody wore a suit, but yeah, I think Baekhyun's look actually looked really, really great. Yeah, like it just fit him perfectly. I can tell that they put a lot of effort into this look. A lot of the time when these brands dress these K-pop idols in suits, it's not very tailored to them because they're wearing like press samples, right? So they actually can't really alter them. So most of the time it looks really bad on them, or like it doesn't look like it's fitted. But for Baekhyun's sake, I think it looked really great actually. I think they actually did alter it a lot. I think they tailored it to fit him well. So yeah, like it actually paid off. I definitely think it paid off. I'm kind of loving his relationship more with Fendi right now as opposed to Givenchy. I'm really curious to see where it's gonna go, but yeah, what do you guys think? I think this is gonna be my first W. Let me give Baekhyun a W for his outfit. Another member of Stray Kids, IN, also attended the same Love Your W event. They did the photo call separately. Usually that's what they do when there's different brands. But yeah, let's go through IN's outfit. So he's been working with Bottega Veneta a lot, and for this event, he wore again Bottega Veneta. So he recently went to the show, and I think his show look was great, and now he's representing Bottega at the W event. He's wearing this kind of gray tonal, like two-piece set. It's like a button-up shirt as well as like a pant. It's hard to tell if it's like a wool or felt or like a flannel, but it's a matching set. It almost looks like a jumpsuit or like a boiler suit because it matches so perfectly, and the waistline is like kind of more so hidden. Like the shirt tucks in perfectly into the pants, so it kind of looks like it's like a one piece, right? But yeah, like if you look at his outfit, it's like these kind of like gray tones. He wore a gray tonal tie, and then the pocket here. Do you see how it's like a inverted, like triangle or like a flipped out triangle. That's another detail that Bottega Veneta is known for. If you look at the back of his outfit, it actually had the same detail on the back pant, that flipped out pocket that forms that triangle. But yeah, so anytime you see that, you'll notice that it's like a Bottega Veneta piece. And I feel like his look is actually interesting because at first glance, I feel like it looks kind of boring. It looks like very, very whatever. But the proportions of the suit or like his actual outfit is interesting because it really is in line with the current vibe of Bottega Veneta. So the latest Bottega Veneta show, the vibe was very much like one of the themes was like this idea of a kid or like children like dressing up, if that makes sense, like children dressing up using pieces from their parents' wardrobe. So the proportion on them is slightly oversized or like it doesn't fit them properly. It's kind of like an exaggerated proportion, right? So if you look here, it's kind of the same idea. Like the pants are a little bit big and then the shirt is a little bit big on the shoulder a little bit. And then the tie is kind of like a little bit comical because it seems very short in relation to the rest of the outfit, right? So it's like this kind of play on proportion, but it's not too exaggerated where it just like looks a mess. You know what I mean? But yeah, overall, I think it was fine. I think they could have done something a little bit more fun with the belt. Bottega Veneta has these like fun snake belts right now. I think that would have been really fun if he wore that, but instead he went with this kind of plain black belt. And then he wore these kind of lug sole shoes that Bottega Veneta always does. But yeah, like I feel like it's an overall very like Bottega type of look. It was fun, and I appreciate that he's going to represent Bottega some more and more, like especially at key events like this. But yeah, like I mean, I feel like for a regular person that's not really into fashion, they could have looked at this outfit and been like, it's like boring. But yeah, hopefully my explanation of Bottega Veneta kind of elevates the outfit for you guys a little bit. Not to say that I'm trying to justify how boring it could look, but yeah, that's just kind of my impressions of the outfit. It was great, it was fine. I think overall, Stray Kids, they did a good job actually. I feel like they did a better job than I was imagining, so I'm pretty happy with that. Yuna and Yeji also attended the same event, and I'm telling you guys, like like they're really on the come up in terms of the fashion scene, you guys. So each of them wore different designers to the show. Okay, we'll start with Yuna. So Yuna wore, apparently she wore like Coach and like another jewelry band. I think the necklace is the jewelry band, but the rest of the outfit was Coach. I think there was some hits to this outfit. There were some misses to this outfit. I feel like the skirt, she wore like this kind of pink skirt thing that looked it kind of looked crazy, honestly. It was like a double layer skirt. Like the outside is kind of some kind of like pink iridescent fabric, and underneath was kind of like the sheer tulle thing, and the hem is just like raw. And if you look at the hem of like the outside pink layer, it kind of looks like messy and like thing, like very like last minute. And then there's like a bow on the skirt, which is really not doing her any favors. And then she wore this cute little camisole top. I think the camisole look was a better execution of this kind of double layer look. But yeah, what I liked about her outfit though was that she paired like that kind of pink tutu skirt with these like riding boots at the bottom. I'm sure that's Coach, or like that probably is Coach. That leather riding boot. It's a nice contrast in the look. I feel like the top half is like very girly, very frilly, and then the bottom is like that kind of like contrast with the riding boot, like that stronger boot. That's kind of like a very Miu Miu vibe, if I'm being honest with you guys. But I think her overall look was like, it was fine. It was, at least it was interesting. It wasn't like boring, you know, like it's better to be interesting than boring, right? And then she wore this kind of Coach like bag as a clutch. I just feel like it was a bit big. They could have definitely given her something a little bit smaller, but overall I think she looked fine. I appreciated her look. And then moving on to Yeji, she wore Margiela. And then she wore, I think, Roger Vivier or something like that. But yeah, like she wore Margiela, and you can tell when things are Margiela because if you look at her beret, there's like those 4 cross hatches, like stitches, and that's kind of the Margiela like logo, even though they technically don't have a logo, that kind of branding, that's, you can tell something's Margiela. And then she wore like a short sleeve sweater vest that was whatever, and then she also wore a skirt. It was more so this black pleated skirt. Overall, I think it was fine. Like the look was, I feel like this look was probably like veered on the more boring side compared to Yuna, but then she wore like a nice like zebra print kind of black and white heel that was interesting, and then the clutch was like a bedazzled clutch. I think this is more of like appropriate size. Overall, it was fine. It wasn't like stunning, but I'm still glad to see them there. A little bit more experimental wearing Margiela, but yeah, like I feel like it was fine. You know, it was just fine. You guys have no idea how obsessed I am right now with TWS, or To Us. Like, I'm actually so obsessed with them. Their music actually bangs, you guys. Their music is some of the greatest music coming out right now. So they attended the Love Your W event, and of course they were wearing Celine, you guys. The way I love them in Celine, it just looks so good. It looks too good, you guys. So let's go through the outfits a little bit. So they actually all wore Celine. They all wore Celine from the latest Celine men's collection. It's called Symphony Fantastique, or Fantastic Symphony. And they all wore coordinating looks, and each of the looks actually fit them perfectly. Do you guys know how impossible that is? Like, impossible for 6 tailored looks to look good and fit well across all the members. Like, that's how you know Celine is not, like, they're not playing, you guys. They're not playing about this at all. They gave them 6 perfectly tailored looks. So I'm not gonna go through each of the looks too in depth, but let me start with Hanjin. He wore like a leather jacket, and then he wore the tie, and then we have Kangmin, and he actually looks great as well. I think he was probably one of the best dressed ones. And then Shinyu wore like a classic black tailored suit. And then my fave, Dohoon wore this kind of sparkly iridescent suit. It looked so good on him, you guys. It looked amazing, actually. And then we have Youngjae. He wore this kind of pinstripe suit that was also fitting him very well. And then finally we have Jihoon, who wore like this kind of all black, kind of more so. He wore like a jacket that wasn't technically like a suit jacket. It was kind of more like a straight pattern jacket, but it looked great as well on him. Like they actually all look great together. And when you see them together, they look really, really great. It looks really cool, you guys. It looks so great. And then they all wore these kind of like black either derbies or boots. And yeah, overall, I think the only thing I would say about their outfits is that they could have adjusted the pants a little bit once they got on stage. If you can look at the photo, you see that like a lot of the pants are like bunched up a little bit, but had they like adjusted the pants and like just pushed it down a little bit, then it could have like made the silhouette a little bit more straight and more clean. But I won't critique them on that too much because I get it, like going up on the stage or like the photo call and then like adjusting the pants, like that's low-key doing a lot, you know, but still like that's like my one critique from them. Overall, I think they looked great. This is my second W for sure. Like I'm giving them a W for sure for this. Dohoon looks so good, you guys. And Kyungmin looks really good as well. But yeah, like, what do you guys think of TWS? Have you guys listened to TWS? Let me know what you thought of the outfits. I'm curious to know if they're gonna have some kind of extended relationship with Celine. I think they've done like 2 different editorials with Celine so far for like magazines. And now they're wearing Celine to the thing. So they definitely have some kind of ongoing relationship with Celine. But then also the thing with Celine is that their creative director, Eddie Saman, recently announced that he was leaving. So that's kind of always like, it kind of makes it a little bit messy, right? Because it's like during that transitional period between creative directors, like these brands are very like low activity. So Zero Base One, I'm just gonna say it. I thought they looked terrible, you guys. They looked so terrible. And I hate to say that because the way I love the members that actually went to. So we have Hanbin that went, right? So we have Zhang who went, and then we have Hanbin who went to the event as well. They both, I know people are very happy that they both went to the event. And it was such a waste of Hanbin's pink hair. I feel like, so let me go through the looks, you guys. Can we, just off the bat, you guys see everything that's wrong with these looks? The looks fit them so badly. Like the looks fit them terribly, you guys. I hate to say that. Okay, Hanbin probably actually looks even worse. I think that his suit was just very like, I don't know what happened to the suit. Like the proportions are just like so, they're just so bad, you guys. If you look at the hem of his jacket, like the bottom of the thing, like you can tell they're trying to like shorten it a little bit, but they didn't press it to make the bottom like clean and flat. It just looks very like jumbled up, and then it's like very wrinkled at his rib cage, and then the sleeve is too short. And the photo where he has his arm down, you can see that it's like very, it's almost comical how badly it fits. I'm actually so shocked. And this is Gucci, by the way, which is actually such a crime, you guys. So yeah, they both wore Gucci, and then Zhang, he looked a little bit better, I'm not gonna lie, but still, like, I feel like because his outfit was like more so like this velvet black suit, it kind of hid like the imperfections a little bit more, thankfully. But overall, you can also see that the sleeve of the shirt underneath is too long compared to the sleeve of the jacket. There's like literally like 5 inches of the cuff there, which I honestly don't think it was intentional, you guys. But yeah, I think they're very cute, and they're like very cute together when they take photos together, but I just feel like their outfits were criminal, you guys. I don't know who approved this outfit. They just looked, it was honestly a travesty. Like, let me, you guys, you guys are probably gonna think I'm such a hater for this, but yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I really think the outfits were really terrible. I'm not gonna go on that too much, but yeah. The way I live for Natty, like kiss of life, bad gal Natty. I love her, you guys. She looks so great at the event. Like, I can't wait to show you what she wore to the event. So she did actually all of the Kiss of Life members went to the event, but Natty, she did her photo call separately because she was wearing Alexander McQueen and the rest of the members were wearing Versace. So yeah, Natty she was wearing McQueen. And let me show you what she was wearing. So she was kind of wearing this kind of cream, kind of like goat skin effect mini dress, as well as the Huff boots, you guys. Like, do you guys see the Huff boots? I'm actually so gagged. Like, they look so great on her. It's such a fun piece. And if you see her walking on the stage during like the photo call, like it looks so good on her because I feel like Natty's one of those people that is like, she's like fearless, you know what I mean? Like she just wears whatever, and because her face is such a perfect 10, she just looks good in everything, you guys. Like that bob, the bangs, and then her little wave, like I think it just looks so good on her. Like and then the boots and then the dress are kind of matching, but yeah, the Huff boots really made this outfit for me. Like I really, really took it there. Otherwise it would have been so whatever. But yeah, her outfit is entirely McQueen, like I said, and then her bag, she's also wearing the new T-bar bag, which is fine. You know, I don't think it really did anything to the outfit, but I guess I get why they wanted to have her like carry the bag. They wanted like the whole look of McQueen, right? But yeah, what do you guys think of this look? I feel like a lot of people are very like divisive about this look because the boots on one hand look kind of crazy, but I feel like I said before, I'd rather something look crazy and wild than look boring, you know what I mean? And the Huff boots, as a person that like loves fashion, I just feel like it was such a great look. She's so extra. I love, like, that's what I love about her. Like she's extra, she's fearless. And I think the look really did land on her. Like it looked great. Her glam was really great as well. And I just loved everything about her. Like I'm giving this a W as well. This is my third W, guys. The rest of the Kiss of Life members, Julie, Belle, and Hano, they all wore Versace to the event, which they looked great in it as well. So Versace obviously is known for more of these kind of like sexy or provocative, like bold and daring type of pieces, and I think that really translated in the outfits. They all wore these kind of like bodycon little numbers. One of them was like a corset of denim that fit her like really, really well. But yeah, overall their looks were cohesive. I think I appreciated the fact that they all had matching elements to the outfits, but they all still felt a little bit different than each other. My favorite definitely has to be like the black leather bodycon dress. The fit is so amazing, like in the performance, you guys. The way people were hyping up the performance, like the Kiss of Life performance at the event, I was living for it. You guys must know by now that I have a soft spot for the boys. So 4 of the members of the boys actually attended the event, and I was very happy to see that. I will say that maybe two of the outfits landed, and the other 2 were kind of like just whatever to me. So let's go through the outfits. I'll start with Juyeon. Juyeon is my favorite, you guys. Like, you guys know I love Juyeon. I love Juyeon with Balenciaga, and of course he wore Balenciaga to the event. He wore full Balenciaga. I feel like at this point, he's very much like a Balenci boy. And any event he attends, he's like representing Balenciaga, which I love actually. And you can tell Balenciaga really loves him as well because they're always sending him like full looks on the runway, like full exact looks. Like, I feel like anything he requests to full, they're giving it to him. So he wore this kind of like funny, his look was a little bit comical, I'm not gonna lie. His look was a little bit theatrical, a little bit comical, very like Balenciaga. He wore this like super mega oversized like set of clothing. The pants were super oversized. He wore this very oversized like shirt as well underneath like the striped shirt. You see how long it is. Not only is it oversized in width, but it's oversized in length. It's very comical. But yeah, so he wore this kind of oversized like long shirt, and then over top of that he wore this kind of like, it seems like a blazer that's been like destroyed, or like it's just been crumpled up so much to the point that it has just no more structure left. So the shoulder is kind of leaning on the undershirt, and then he wore the super long tie that's kind of like intentionally like just tied messily. So yeah, like I just think he looks like so fun. I just feel like I love Juyeon when he does these kind of like theatrical type of looks. I feel like, yeah, like Balenciaga could have put him in like a plain suit and it would have been fine or whatever, but that's just boring, you know what I mean? Like I feel like this is like a fashion event for a fashion magazine, and I'm glad he like went outside the box for this and did something fun. And you guys know me, like I'm biased to Juyeon, so I'll give his look a W as well. So we actually almost had the entire Bermuda line come together, but instead we had Younghoon and Hyunjae. They both wore Tods to the event, and I'm not gonna lie, this was not my favorite outfit from them. I feel like they've definitely looked better in the past, but Tods, I feel like Tods is one of those brands that's actually spending a lot in terms of advertising right now. They're like investing a lot. Jungwoo's their ambassador, and I feel like they do the uttermost of him. And now like they're sponsoring these looks for Hyunjae and Younghoon, which, you know, I'm always gonna love, because I've always said that the boys, they deserve more partnerships in fashion. I just don't feel like they're getting what they deserve in terms of the fashion world. But, you know, like any step in that direction I'm here for. But the outfits for Tods, I don't know, it wasn't my favorite. Hyunjae wore this kind of like safari-esque jumpsuit, like 2-piece thing. He wore like a matching pant and top, and they was tucked into each other. It's similar to IN in the sense that it looks so similar that it looks like a jumpsuit almost. And then he wore like a Tods logo belt and these kind of like chukka boots that I feel like Tods has been trying to push, these kind of chukka sneakers. And then, yeah, it wasn't my favorite. I just feel like it was whatever. The pant just looked a little bit too thick, too much fabric. And the shirt looked kind of good. Like the shirt, it was kind of like a shirt jacket style, but yeah, it was just like not my favorite. And then Younghoon, it was even worse, honestly. He wore this kind of zip-up blouson and like leather jacket, which actually looks like a great piece. It looks really beautiful, but I feel like the turtleneck layered underneath and then the button-up shirt and like the black pants, it just was not doing him any favors. It just looks so plain. The thing with Tods is that I feel like they're still kind of developing their brand DNA and their brand house codes, so they don't really have like a distinctive look in terms of ready to wear. Like it's hard for me to like imagine, like if I think of Tods, I can't imagine like a silhouette or like a look or like an image of Tods in terms of ready to wear. Finally, the last member of the boys to 10 was Sunwoo. Sunwoo wore a Amiri, full Amiri set. Sunwoo's an Amiri ambassador, by the way, if you guys didn't know that, and I think he looked really great at the event. Here's the thing with Amiri. I feel like Amiri, I've talked about this before, they've changed so much, and now they do like the most excellent, luxurious, over-the-top suiting, and you can really see that with Sunwoo's outfit. Like, he's wearing this kind of like crystal, like bedazzled, long blazer that's not like a conventional blazer fit. It's slightly more oversized and relaxed. It's very like coastal and like Western, like LAE's vibe to it. It's very like bedazzled, as you can see, especially the top half. And then underneath, he's wearing this kind of like tank top or like tight shirt that's also bedazzled. It's kind of like sequined or like crystallized. It looks really great on top of each other. The look is just very like extravagant. You know what I mean? Like that's what I really like to see. I don't really like to see at these events, especially with menswear in general. It's always like suits, 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 suits. And it's like so boring sometimes. You guys know what I mean? Like, but the suit is actually, it looked great on him. I think you can tell that they put a lot of effort into the look. And then he wore this kind of belt thing with a chain strap, and then the pants were kind of giving this illusion of a pleat like a pleated pant, but it was actually just like a pattern, like the stripe that was giving it that kind of dimension. I think he looked great as well. I'm gonna give this one a W as well. You guys probably like, oh, it's because they're the boys, you're giving them W. Yes, that's exactly why, you guys. But yeah, he looked great. I think his hair color looked great as well. He looked overall, he looked really, really good. I think the boys did a good job. But yeah, like that was great. I'm honestly, I remember when Sunwoo was first announced as an ambassador for Amiri, I was like, I didn't know how to feel about it because I was like, Amiri, are we sure about this? But as time gone on, like I feel like it's actually such a good partnership. Like they always dress him like 10 out of 10, you guys. Like it's always like a 10 out of 10. As much as I love Baekhyun, I cannot defend him from this look, you guys. His look was a little bit of a letdown for me. So Baekhyun attended the event and he was representing both Margiela and then he was representing Damiani jewelry. So if you look at the cross necklace and like whatever other necklace he's wearing is Damiani. And then the suit he wore was Margiela and it was like, you could never tell because it's such a plain suit. It could have been any brand, it could have been anything. There was nothing really signature Margiela about it. And typically, which is surprising because I feel like Margiela, I've come to know them to do these kind of like deconstructed pieces, deconstructed suits, but nothing about Baekhyun's suit was really giving me that at all. So I was a bit surprised about that. Like it just seemed like a plain suit, you know what I mean? It didn't really give him anything other than that, which I get sometimes you don't want to do too much, but I feel like you're Baekhyun, like you're the top K-pop idol, like you got to do something, you guys. So yeah, and then he wore these kind of like heeled boots, which looked great on him, like these heel pan boots. That was probably the one redeeming factor of the look, like those kind of boots. Those are cool, but otherwise, I just feel like his suit was like very blah. It was like very like whatever. It was like a square boxy cut suit, and then a more of a relaxed pleated like pant, and then yeah, it wasn't nothing. There's nothing really much to say. This is the perfect example of what I was saying earlier about how like sometimes plain suits can just feel really boring, and this is unfortunately one of the times that was the case. Yeonjun and Beomgyu attended the event wearing Dior, which isn't really a surprise because Tomorrow Together are Dior ambassadors, right? But you guys know how I feel about Tomorrow by Together and Dior. I feel like overall the whole thing has been a little bit boring in my opinion, and unfortunately like the outfits for this event were kind of a continuation of that same theme. So Yeonjun, he wore a navy suit, like a hidden button detail suit, and then Beomgyu wore a kind of like a gray suit. The thing with Dior, they love to do gray. Everything's always gray, 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 gray. Because Mr. Dior or like Christian Dior's, one of his favorite colors was gray, and that's why there's always gray in the collections. But yeah, like overall the suits were like whatever. Like the fit was okay. I'm not gonna say it was like a terrible fit. They fit okay. They fit like nothing amazing either. The gray suit was like whatever, and then Yeonjun, I think the redeeming factor of Yeonjun's thing was his red hair. That made him stand out a little bit. And then Beomgyu's kind of like blondish, dirtyish blondish hair was fine as well. But again, you guys, like there's not really much to say about these kind of plain suits. I think they could have done a little bit something more fun. They could have had a little bit more accessories maybe, or maybe the undershirt could have done something. But overall, I just feel like it was like a, you know, we'll wear it and we'll go to the event. You know what I mean? Which is not, it doesn't seem like there's much thought put into the outfits when it comes to Dior and Tomorrow by Together. I just feel like they're such a fun group, and I feel like the group concept is very like whimsical and fun, and I just really have not felt that from the partnership with Dior yet. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing I feel like I'm missing from this whole partnership. How are we feeling about Cha Eunwoo being a Saint Laurent boy, you guys? Are we into it? Are we not into it? Let me know. So Cha wore Saint Laurent to the W event as well. I feel like recently he's been doing a lot of work with Saint Laurent. I think he's supposed to become an ambassador soon, or like I heard that was like the rumor or whatever, but not official yet. But he attended the show recently, and he's been doing all these different things with Saint Laurent. And this latest thing was very much a continuation of what he's been doing. So he wore full Saint Laurent to the show, and I feel like, or like to the event, and I feel like he's been doing a lot of this kind of like Yves Saint Laurent cosplay. So the founder of Saint Laurent, his name is Yves, and I feel like a lot of the time recently, Cha Eunwoo's been kind of like mimicking that. I feel like that's kind of that's just what the vibe is at Saint Laurent in terms of like brand aesthetic, and that's where they're going right now. I feel like for his GQ spread, it was very similar to that kind of look as well. That kind of coiffed hair, the glasses. But for this look, he was wearing a oversized like suit, double-breasted suit that's very in line with what Saint Laurent's presenting on the runway right now. This kind of very relaxed, oversized suiting, not too stuffy, very easy, very like, I guess like 80s kind of look, 70s, 80s. But yeah, he wore like this kind of dark gray with like a striped tie, white shirt. It was very crisp and clean. It fit him very well. The thing with Cha Eunwoo is because he's like the perfect like model height and the perfect model frame. I think most samples look great on him without even having to alter. I think this look did look good on him. I think it was fun. The glasses looked fun. The coiffed hair. It was fine. I get what they're going for. I get what they're trying to do. I think this did land. It wasn't like too like on the nose. Sometimes, you know, where it's like a full, like it's too close to the original, but this was just more so like inspired by, or like he was like had elements of Yves that he was trying to replicate, and I think that did land. So that was a bit fun. Was it fun to the point where I'm gonna give him a W? I don't think so, but I think it was a fun outing for him. It was a fun look for him. Out of the sea of suits, I think his was probably one of the more interesting ones. Finally, we have Minhyuk and Shonu from Monsta X who both attended the event together as well. It was really fun to see Minhyuk attend this event because he recently got discharged from the army, and I think he's actually one of the best looking idols in my opinion. So it's always great to see him at these kind of different fashion type of events. So each of them wore different designers or represented different designers. So Minhyuk wore Ferragamo and then Shonu wore Dolce & Gabbana. I think that, okay, so let's go through Minhyuk's look. He wore this kind of gray double-breasted suit, more of a relaxed leg pant. Is this like kind of like stepping on the line of boring like I was saying? Yes. But I think the fit was great. I think it was fine. And I think out of the two members, he probably looked better than Shonu. Yeah, I think the suit was fine. It was a little bit, it was boring, you guys. I hate to say that. It really was a little bit boring. And I think that in terms of Ferragamo is an interesting brand right now because I feel like they're kind of having a revitalization in terms of the brand, in terms of the brand's aesthetics. But for some reason, I feel like it's not translating outside of the runway. I feel like they're doing all these super cool things that we see on the runway. But why is that, like, none of that is making it onto like the red carpet or events like this. It's just like, you do these super cool things on the runway, but when we see like an actual like look in person, it's just like a plain suit. Do you see like the kind of disconnect? Do you see how that could be frustrating to me? But yeah, like Minhyuk's look was fine. And then Shonu's look, he was wearing this kind of Dolce & Gabbana look. I feel like he's wearing this cropped jacket this cropped peacoat jacket over top like this kind of like, I don't know, kind of silkish turtleneck thing. It wasn't my favorite. I get what they were trying to do with this for sure. I definitely see where they were going with this. They were trying to go for like that kind of like romantic kind of different kind of look as opposed to just putting him in a suit. But I don't know, something about this was just not, it's a little bit too stuffy for me in my opinion. I think this kind of hid his shape a little bit too much. The pants were kind of an awkward fit. And then, yeah, the jacket, I think it was just too much going on. Yeah, like what do you guys think of the looks? Who do you guys think looked better, Shonu or Minhyuk? For me, it was definitely Minhyuk, but there was definitely room for improvement for both of them, for sure. Okay, finally, oh my gosh. I feel like I went through so many different K-pop idols that attended the W Korea Love Your W event. Let me know in the comments who you thought was best dressed, who you thought was worst dressed, who would you hand W's to, and who would you hand L's to? You guys saw my W's. What do you guys think about picks? I honestly think I picked really, really great ones. I feel like this is such a fun event to go through. And you guys know I don't usually do videos like this, so let me know in the comments how you feel about videos like this where I kind of like walk through events to talk about what everyone's wearing. I usually don't do like red carpets like this, but maybe if you guys are into it, I'll do it more. Like I'll do it like maybe the Mama Awards. But yeah, this is a fun video. It was such a fun event to watch. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys thought. As always, be honest with your thoughts. And yeah, like I'm like looking at myself in my hair because like I can't remember the last time I've had like fully black hair like this, you guys. It's been like at least like 6 years since I've had like fully black hair. But yeah, it's kind of tripping me out a little bit, and my hair is like, yeah, I don't know how I'm doing it. But yeah, if you like this video and you want to learn more, you want to see more about K-pop, fashion, and how the worlds collide, make sure to subscribe to Fashion Alt because my name is Kevin, and I always make videos where K-pop fans can learn all about the world of fashion through K-pop.